Hi everyone, today I'm going to give you all some tips and tricks about how to keep your makeup what I call fresh. And pretty much just what I mean by that is that when you have a large makeup collection like I do, it's really easy to forget stuff or to have stuff sitting in your collection forever and ever and ever and to never ever use it. So I do a few things that I do to try to keep me, I don't know, I guess to try to remind me of everything that I have and to, sorry, I'm not being very articulate, to remind me of everything I have. And it also kind of keeps me from wanting more things because I know what I have and I know, oh, that eyeshadow is beautiful, but I've got 3 that look pretty dang similar. So what I do a couple of things. First off, I pan. So project panning means that I'm getting rid of stuff, or I'm using up stuff is really what it is. So that's giving me less stuff. However, the only issue with project panning is that that means that I'm really focusing in on a couple of items and not using the rest of my collection. For example, this is the predominant eyeshadow palette that I have used all year long. So the way I like to project pan is on the weekdays, I use all my project pan items. And on the weekends, I use whatever I want in my collection that's not a project pan item. So it makes me really think about my makeup on the weekends and try to use different stuff. I also do a weekly product pan, and if you don't know, I have a whole playlist of that and I'll link that below. And that's where every week I randomly choose an item from my collection and I use it all week long. This, number one, gives me some more use out of my items because I definitely have stuff that sat there for quite a while. And number two, it also it kind of makes me use something that I may or may not have otherwise. So like this week I have the Maybelline color tattoo. It's all the way at the bottom of this bag. Let me find it. Here we go. The Maybelline color tattoo in inked and pinked. And I do like this color tattoo. I actually had happened to use it that weekend, but I can't tell you the time I used it before that. So I'm using this all week long, and it's kind of making me get some use out of a product that I may or may not have otherwise. And at the end of the week, so the following Monday, when I go to draw a new item, I also decide whether or not I want to declutter this. So I do declutter items because if there's something that I just don't love, or I know I have other stuff that I like a lot better, or if I just know I just won't grab for it for whatever reason, I try to get rid of it so that I can maybe sell it on Poshmark usually and make a little bit of money back from it. And more than that, just to keep my collection fresh and know that, like, okay, I'm not planning on, but just for example, if I don't love this cream shadow and I get rid of it, that's one less cream shadow I'll be sorting through every time. And with that, with doing that weekly product pan, I have an Excel spreadsheet of every single item that I own. And I have it itemized by individual pan. So again, let me just grab, say, this Chic palette from Lorac. I have all 6 of these pans on it. So I know that I own, like, I think it's like 1,460 items. And that counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which also means that if I use up one of these things, I get credit for that. And I have one less item in my collection, which is how I personally like to do it. And it means when I draw my weekly product pan, instead of grabbing a whole palette, I just have one item from that palette, which is just more beneficial for me and how I like to pan. So all of those things help me remember what I have and get use out of it. And the other way that I try to remember what I have for both my makeup collection and my toiletries, though I don't really have that many toiletries, but whenever I can, I get skincare samples, so it does kind of stock up, but not too much, because I won't let myself buy a full size until I've used up all my skincare. But anyway, is every month, at the end of the month, the last Saturday or Sunday, like the last weekend of the month, I go through my collection and I reorganize it. So this is really visually pleasing to me. I like to have my collection look perfect and everything being aligned and organized, and that just like makes me happy. But also it means that I have touched every single item in my collection, so I know what I have, and having to look at it and touch it and, you know, find its place means that I like I said, I'm just more familiar with what I have. It also means that I really see a lot of redundancy. So just as an example, here are my lip products. These are all of my red lipsticks, or there's some lip glosses. I dropped one, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. These are all of my red lip products. This is a lot. Now, I know it's a lot just looking at it when I open up my lipstick drawer, but having to touch it and reorganize this every single month means that I'm like, wow, you have a lot. You need to calm down. You don't need any more red lipsticks. You're good. So those are just a few things. They don't take that much time or effort. Well, that's not true. Itemizing my collection the first time took a lot of time, and now I just keep it up to date. And reorganizing my collection is, I don't know, it takes me maybe 30 minutes. So it does take some time, but to me it's worth it because it makes me realize what I have and be appreciative for it. So hopefully that some of these tips might help you to really know what you have, and it also helps me for stick to my no buy and not want to go buy a bunch of stuff because I've touched everything in my collection. I look at it on a spreadsheet. I use it. So I know, okay, you don't need that. I hope that makes sense. So as always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, or comments, go ahead and leave those down below. And I'll just see you real soon. Bye.